Christmas, everybody! My name is Riley K. Jones. I'm a writer, teacher, and author tuber, and today we're going to talk about Christmas stories. Today is Christmas Eve, the day before Christmas, and I don't know about you, but I'm excited being with family and friends during this holiday season. And even though it's going to look different for most people because of the state of the world that we live in, I am just so excited for Christmas and the holiday season. So we're going to go through a list in no particular order of some of my favorite Christmas stories and what they mean to me and why they are good stories to begin with, even if some of them may be a little cheesy. We'll see. Without much further ado, let's get into it. So without no surprise, as this is a classic story known and loved by so many people, my first story I'll be talking about is Charles Dickens's A Christmas Carol. A Christmas Carol is one of my favorite actual books and stories about Christmas, and it's my only Charles Dickens story that I actually like. I know some people are like, oh, she doesn't like Charles Dickens. I know, I was an English major and got made fun of all the time because I didn't like Charles Dickens. But I think he just did a wonderful job at Christmas Carol. It's short. It's not these 800 pages long of just character description. He has boiled down everything. There is that great change of character growth with Scrooge that he painted so beautifully. He talks about the spirit of Christmas and why we need to do what we do, why Christmas is so important in society and in our lives, and why we need to have this time of year. And I just really, really appreciate that. And also just the way he writes his characters, the way he shows, not tells. And it starts with one of the most famous and wonderful first line openings. Marley was dead to begin with. There was no doubt whatever about that. I mean, you think it's A Christmas Carol, but that opening line really sinks in and hooks you in. And if you're ever interested in me doing an opening line critique video of how some opening lines work, let me know in the comments down below. I also really, really enjoy the Mickey's version of the Christmas Carol, the Mickey Mouse Disney version of that. That one is my favorite. It holds such a dear place in my heart. Something about the simplicity of the story that they captured, and as well as, you seeing your favorite characters that you kind of grew up with acting out A Christmas Carol. So that is my favorite version of The Christmas Carol. I know a lot of people love the Muppets version as well. There are some songs in there that I do enjoy, like the Marley and Marley song. That's fun. But Mickey's Christmas Carol has won out my heart for A Christmas Carol. It's simplistic, it's well done, just like the novel. The second one I'll be talking about today is It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. Now, this is a Hallmark Christmas movie that I just love to bits. There is something about this one where during this time period of Hallmark films, they only release a short amount of Christmas movies, and they were really focused on making them well. A lot of writers, they were very picky. I feel like now there's just so many. I think there's probably 15 to 20 new stories released every year, and it's a lot to do, and some of the same ideas kind of get thrown out there all the time. But with this one, it is about a young mother who is a businesswoman, and she can't help but kind of try to plan out Christmas and just make everything perfect. She's a bit of a perfectionist as well, and she, wants to bring perfect, Christmas to her son. And her uncle comes to visit, and he brings home a stranger, which is not according to her plan, and he kind of helps her slow down the Christmas holiday spirit and just enjoy the holidays rather than to just have it as another thing to do to check off the list. And it's just something it's cute, it's sweet, and it's genuinely funny. It is a laugh out loud funny, and I just really enjoy that, and every year I have to watch that. Another favorite Christmas movie of mine is It's a Wonderful Life. It is a classic for a reason. The symbolism that they use in that filming, oh my goodness, I could go on and give a whole video about analyzing It's a Wonderful Life and why it is so impactful and why it's so well done, and not just with the storyline but the filming is just so purposeful. Like there are so many angles and colors, even if the black and white, like the colors of like Mr. Potter's like completely black outfit, his giant desk, like it's just things like that. And then you have um George, and he's just like George Bailey, and he's just like, kind of like hovering down because he has to like kind of grovel. It's just like there's so much symbolism and so much it's just well done. And it's a heartwarming story where, we as a community again captures the Christmas spirit of, we as a community rallying together and just showing love and kindness and joy and hope with other people rather than being stingy and hardened by really commercialism and all that material goods like Mr. Potter. So it's really, really cool. I love it. My family watches it every Christmas Eve, and it's something that I've always enjoyed. Another Christmas film is one that I discovered not too many years ago, but have completely fallen in love with it, and that is Arthur Christmas. Arthur Christmas is a very unique spin on how Santa Claus does his job. It's just really a really creative way to imagine Santa Claus. So Santa Claus has been passed down from father to son, father to son, father to son for generations, for millennia. They do seem to last a bit longer than your typical age life. There is definitely some type of magic going on, but we follow the story of Arthur, who is the younger son of the two brothers, and the older son is the one who's supposed to be in line to become Santa. And we follow Arthur as he's trying to deliver one present that got missed. Everyone else is kind of like, oh, it's one present. We want to have our own Christmas. But Arthur's like, no, we're going to take this present to that child. We can't miss a child. And it's a really heartwarming, again, it's a genuinely funny, heartwarming story of one guy trying to make one other person's Christmas. Again, that spirit of Christmas, of just showing love and joy with other people, and especially even the family. Like you really see the family growth come together in this moment where the family's kind of strained with their relationship because of the holiday season. And you really see them even together work together and just be having a better Christmas because they were able to give to somebody else. The next one on the list is It's Christmas, Charlie Brown. This one has also been a staple in my home growing up, and I love it to bits. It is so charming, and it really does capture the true spirit of Christmas.
Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about?
Sure, Charlie Brown. I can tell you what Christmas is all about. Lights, please. And there were in the same country shepherds, abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them. And the glory of the Lord shone round about them. And they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not. For behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host praising God, and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men.
The next one on the list is Elf. Elf is just a laugh out loud funny. Most people love it. It's great. It's hilarious. And again, it's that finding out, like, when you have the hustle and bustle of our busy lives, of just calming down and really enjoying family and friends and the Christmas spirit again. You see a theme here going through. They really capture the spirit of Christmas, of just slowing down, enjoying each other, knowing that it's not the things that you get, it's not the big money, the big cars. It's just about each other and the love that we can share to each other. The next one on the list has also been a staple for me growing up, and you might find as a young adult almost in her mid to late 20s. Kind of strange for her to watch, but it's something that like reminds me of my childhood and I enjoy every single time, every year. And that is Winnie the Pooh, It's Christmas Too. I have been watching this, I don't know for how old. I want to say maybe like 2 years old. And every year I watch it just because it reminds me of my childhood. It reminds me of the good feelings of Christmas and just puts me in the Christmas spirit. And I always love Winnie the Pooh. Like he's always been my favorite. And so yeah, that one just reminds me, it's nostalgic and reminds me of my childhood and Christmas. The next one is kind of a package deal. I always watch these two together, and that is Snow and Snow Tube Rain Freeze. So these ones again are about how Santa Claus became to be Santa Claus, with a bit of a twist. It is one of the more corny ones. My husband pokes fun at me every time for watching it, even more so than the Winnie the Pooh, because it is corny. It was released in the early 2000s, so from, I believe, ABC. So it is a little bit low budget, but the story is just really cool to me, the way that they reinvent Santa. So what happens in this one is Santa, who is the character Nick, he is taking over the reins for his parents who seem to have passed because they're not around at all. And he's taking over for his father that year. And Buddy is a new reindeer and he needs to learn how to fly. Well, while out grazing, he gets captured by a poacher, and then Nick tracks him down to a zoo in California where he can travel through a magic mirror. So that's a cool element. Anywho, he travels from the mirror to the zoo and tries to get Buddy back, but on the way he meets a zookeeper and they start to fall in love with each other. It's really cute, and I really like the way they reimagined Santa Claus. I won't give that away because it's kind of like more in the middle of the movie, but it was really fun, really cute. And then Snow 2 follows that story where Nick gets amnesia and has to remember how to be Santa Claus all over again. That one isn't as good, but it's still cute, and it's something that I'm like, yeah, I like it. I watch it every year. Not ashamed. The next one on the list is The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. That one is also a childhood staple. I remember watching this all the time, and a lot of the 90s reference I understand and just really it holds a true place in my heart since I grew up in the 90s, and I really like that one. Again, I do not like the sequels as much, but the Santa Claus is one that I do watch every year, and it is again another cool way of how Santa Claus became Santa, another trend that you see in this list. And the final one that we're going to talk about today is Eloise at Christmas Time. Again, it is a little bit more of a younger audience, but I have watched this since I was a child, probably like a preteen child, and what I really love about this one is the romance between Rachel and Bill is just so cute. It just melt your heart cute. Like, it's just so adorable. And that's the reason why I always watch it every time, even though you only get glimpses of it throughout the story, and it's mostly about a 6-year-old girl, Eloise, and the shenanigans that she gets into. It is just adorable, and I love that one so much, so I watch that every year as well. And also Julie Andrews is in it, and she's a phenomenal actress, so she's also wonderful. And a few runner-ups that I'm going to briefly just mention and not go into much detail, which is The Grinch, the 2018 version, Home Alone, classic staple, and Midnight at Magnolia, which is actually a Netflix 2020 original, and Dash and Lily, which is also a Netflix 2020 original. I think those are ones that I do occasionally watch pretty regularly every year, and except for the two new ones, I think I'm going to add those to my list. So that is today's video. Thank you so much for joining, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. I release new videos every Thursday about all things writing and reading. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas wherever you may be, and the happiest of New Year's. Keep writing, keep reading, and stay creative. Bye! Merry Christmas!